reception for the Dragons here at home. Their record in Wollongong last year was quite good, to be honest. You know, nothing to write home about in the big picture of their season, but in Wollongong their form wasn't bad, and Blake Laurie re-signed. He's here for the long term, gets to captain the club tonight.
Yeah, plenty of anticipation around the Dragons. We spoke about, you know, they come 10th last year and what they're going to do over the summer. Well, they get their first opportunity. Yes, there's a host of stars not playing, but there's a lot of them that are. You see that man there, Jake Little, he's come across from the Tigers. Mbai in the 7, normally housed by Ben Hunt. What a season he had last year. Their first opportunity in 23, Vossi, to make amends for what happened last year.
Won 5 from 6 in Wollongong last year. The St George Illawarra Dragons were underway. The campaign of the Dragons for 2023. And St Helens, as I say, a treat to have them as part of the pre-season challenge. And this time, next Saturday, we will have the World Club Challenge against Penrith. By the way, if you're not up on the news, this game will go longer than Australia's second innings in the cricket in India. They're all out, they're gone, they've lost, all out for 91. So stick with the league for the rest of tonight, and a big day tomorrow on Fox League with another 4 matches. St Helens with their first use 15 metres short of halfway. And Rugby taking them up on this right edge. You can see Connie Hurrell is in the starting side in jumper 23. Here he is for a run. There's always a great personality player in the NRL, and he is that personality in the Super League. He hasn't changed one bit. Back for the first kick from the halfback, Lewis Dodd. And on the run, well fielded by Trey Stewart. Exciting talent. If you've liked what you've seen of Tyrell Sloan, I think you're going to like what you see of Trey Stewart wearing the number 1 for the Dragons tonight.
It was a terrific set, wasn't it, from St Helens, coming right through the front door. Some nice, powerful running. And you mentioned about Trey Stewart. Well, he got rid of Lees with ease.
So St George Illawarra on their first expedition downfield. Warm conditions, but not quite as warm as it was earlier today. Matty Russell on the sideline will update us on conditions shortly. There's a little working dummy half and a pass away for Moses Mbai. 5 former Tigers now at the St George Illawarra Dragons. We just caught 2 of them. Ball brought back by Jack Wellesby. Just to highlight the success of this strong tackle. That was good. That's good for February. That sort of contact. Wellesby, the fullback, 21 years of age, has already won 3 grand finals, Corey. 1 Challenge Cup, played for England at a World Cup, and has a World Club Challenge final next week.
Yeah, terrific player, isn't he? And there's a nice little battle just starting to brew. Walmsley and Laurie, the 2 bookends for both sides, just going head-to-head in the middle third of the field.
Walmsley, one of the players who missed the grand final through injury and also out of contention for the World Cup. They've also started the match with James Bell here, St Helens. So not 1 to 13 to start the game. Stewart has another touch. Collar-grabbing tackle attempted by Sione Matautia. He was saying to me off air pre-game, you got to play for Australia with Sione Matautia back in 2014.
I think it was at this very ground, as you mentioned, Vossi against Samoa. Played plenty of football, but he's found a home over there in the north of England for St Helens.
Played for Australia at 18, youngest ever representative, Sione Matautia. And the Dragons' steady start to the game with their possession so far. Little away for Mbai, steering the ship from halfback tonight. This kick fielded by Makinson. He fields the ball in front of our sideline man, Matty Russell. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Andrew, Corey, everyone watching. We've escaped the brutality of Sydney's heat today. A very pleasant 24 degrees, a gentle nor'easter blowing in from behind St Helens. And just to ram home your point, Andrew, you're right. 17 members from the Super League Grand Final in tonight's squad for the visitors. And in the run-on 13, 10 of them played in the grand final. Lewis Dodd missed because of an Achilles injury. Good to see the number 7 back, Alex Walmsley, over that foot injury that kept him out. So really, it's a run-on 13 grand final team for St Helens.
And this man, Lomax, was player of the match. His pass was knocked down.
First St Helens.
Kennedy, the referee.
And then Dragons, first St Helens.
Sideline official.
Well, that's what we've ruled.
But they've ruled first one against St Helens here. Lomax now 32 years of age, still at the peak of his powers for mine. Being selfish, would have loved to have seen him in the NRL, but glad that he stayed in England. But would love to see him on a more regular basis.
Yeah, terrific player, isn't he? Particularly down short sides. We've just got a little bit of a look at what he can come up with. Just Connie Hurrell just getting his line all wrong there. Just seen in that last play, Zach Lomax, whilst the Dragons had the ball, just eyeing up Kenny Hurrell.
Wait, break.
So Dragons in possession. We saw a shot there of the new assistant at St Helens, Laurent Fresenus, the French coach. Certainly up with Paul Wellens at the helm. Christian Wolff coached St Helens to the last 3 grand final victories. Now with the Dolphins, you will see the Dolphins on Fox League tomorrow night. They come up against the Cowboys. 4 matches back to back to back to back on a Sunday in summer.
It's quite a Sunday, Vossi.
Roll out now, Sione back on side.
So slow play the ball. Set steady on the previous set. It's certainly that. There's some good collisions. The Dragons very much to a straightforward game plan so far. That kick went through the uprights. That's a pretty good catch from Jack Wellsby there, running away from where the ball was coming from and the post to contend with. He is some talent, and he's got the Rugby League world at his feet at 21, and already so many highlights in the scrapbook. So Bell across field. So far so good for the Dragons defence. Hurrell there, steamrolls there with great venom. And Moses Mbai sporting a new hairdo. It almost took off his head.
Well, we've seen this so often, haven't we? We see here Conrad Hurrell. Just a nice little early ball from Roby. Out comes Mbai, and over the top he goes. Such a powerhouse of a ball runner we saw so often when he was playing at the Titans.
Billy?
Yeah, great to have him back on Australian soil. Conrad Hurrell, try scorer in the grand final last year, and that win over Leeds. He scored 4 tries, 24-12 victory. That's some high energy. They're certainly trying to play up-tempo here, the St Helens side, to open the match. Roby takes them down the left. Didn't link up there with Lomax. This is their best chance of the match so far. 10 metres away from the line. Dumped off there for Alex Walmsley. In the grand final, Matty Lees scored the first try inside 5 minutes. Lomax again to the line, hit and spin. 3 in the tackle. Able to prevent the try being scored. Last play for St Helens. All there. And the halfback, Lewis Dodd, who is a story in himself because he missed out last year, an Achilles injury way back in April last year. Wasn't part of the grand final campaign at all. And here he is, just a week out from the World Club Challenge final.
Yeah, beautiful little setup play. Nice little short ball, crash line there. Just sucked in a couple of defenders. And the anticipation, I don't quite see it here. We see there Lewis Dodd. Beautiful kick from Roby. And the combination between Lewis Dodd and Roby, just the eyes there, the experience, 524 games of rugby league gives you that. In their first opportunity, Vossi, down in the Dragons' end, they come up with some points.
He's got some football in him too, this 7. Did play in the grand final in 2021 against the Catalan Dragons, but then the injury last year. Let's hope it's now injury-free. I mean, you might be talking about a bloke that is on the scene wearing the 7 at a higher level than this for some years to come. Speaking of halfbacks, what about that Brodie Croft during the week? They're signed through until 2030.
It's quite a deal.
He's
a good kid, Brody.
settled his future.
Man of Steel last year.
Well, I suppose now on a residency rule down the track, he might choose to play too. That's a strike of the ball. That is a high hit from close range. Matt Russell at 6-0 to St Helens.
Very early on in 2023, Vossi, but already Lewis Dodd has had a good year. He returned from that Achilles injury against Widnes. It was actually Percival's testimonial game, and on his 21st birthday, Lewis Dodd, he scored a try in that game, and there he is scoring a try to start this Australian tour by St Helens. From a Dragons perspective, last year the big problem, missed tackles and also line breaks conceded. Defence is an area they need to tighten this year, and a start right there they'll hope to avoid as the season develops.
Yes, the numbers told us at the end of last year no team conceded more line breaks than the Dragons, almost 6 a game.
Marcus square, hold.
So St Helens off and running in their Australian mission.
Hand release on the mark. Go,
Roby's been very good. Forget the birth certificate. we are watching a true great of the game, and he's still got a load of talent. Lomax has them going right. Hurrell's got another run.
Really good variety of football that St Helens come up with. They go on, the first few were through the front door, some nice quick play the ball speed before they go to an edge. Just really pulling apart the Dragons.
Still caught up there. He's one that was a little unlucky to miss the grand final. Someone has to miss out, but he didn't play in the final 17 there. Oh, he's missed it completely. Trey Stewart. Dragons get out
That's
of
a knock
jail,
on the
do they?
ground. McKaylee.
Oh dear. There's pressure now on St George Illawarra.
Ready on the scrum.
What happened with Trey Stewart with the attempt in the air?
Well, the referee had called that Trey Stewart was a knock back, but Ravalawa's come up with a little bobble.
It's barely touched the fingers, has it?
You see Ravalawa just come around.
That's a big miss. The kid's going to be a little nervous. It's a big moment for his life tonight. Pre-season here against a 4-time grand final winner in St Helens. Trey Stewart, number 1 for St George Illawarra. St Helens putting on the attack. Beautiful floating ball. Makinson for the corner. Kept it alive. I reckon the ball is down. St Helens have their second.
Okay.
Wellesby gets up marching. Haven't they flicked the switch, St Helens here? They are playing at a different speed to their opponents.
Well, we saw the intent in Roby's eyes in the dressing rooms in the pre-game, and they've come out in this start of this first half and have really made their mark. Just watch the eyes here of Lewis Dodd. Centre field scrum just comes out to this right-hand side. You see that Fianai's come up and in, and then Makinson does a terrific job to get the ball back on the inside and to come up with their second try. Beautiful little shape there. Brings the defensive line up. Fianai had already come up and in. And Makinson, we spoke about him in the pre-game about what sort of point scorer he is.
Like what we're seeing, St Helens, good morning to all our viewers across the UK. Watching this one on a Saturday morning. And yes, it will actually be an earlier start next week. We're looking at around a 6 o'clock kickoff Australian time for the World Club Challenge. So potentially could be warmer conditions for it out at Penrith. But they've trained hard. Now they're putting it into practice on the field. Most pundits have them as favourites again in the Super League this year, given the stability, being able to trot out the same squad and potentially be better, because players like Walmsley, you know, injured, didn't play in the grand final. He is one of the premier front rows in the world of rugby league.
Well, in the NRL, we speak glowingly about the Penrith Panthers, and rightly so. As that's pushed to the right-hand side for Makinson.
Time off.
83 wins out of 102 games since 2019 this club has had over in the Super League. They are a powerhouse. So the contest that we're going to see next week in the World Club Challenge is going to be sublime.
Well, Corey, they already look switched on, don't they? Slick. They flew out of England January 31, so they've had about 10 days to prepare in Australia, at Narrabeen, in fact. Manly's training base there. They've spent time at the Roosters, at the Swans, taking in the SCG, but footy has been front of mind because they're preparing for next week's World Club Challenge. As you mentioned, temperature expected to be 37 degrees in Penrith next week for that game at Bluebet Stadium. And, of course, St Helens, Vossi, chasing their third World Club Challenge win, having beaten the Broncos in 2001 and the same team, Corey's team, 2007.
Thanks for that, Matty. Still remember that game.
Yes, tell us more.
They beat us 2018. That was the final score.
On the mark. Go to.
For Penrith, they've ever had a World Club Challenge win after their premiership triumphs, and then with COVID didn't get even an opportunity with their win after the 2021 grand final. So here's St Helens on a march again into the Dragons half. You talk about shape, they've got it. Everything good coming off Roby. The two halves have started on fire. No doubt about that. Dodd and Lomax. So the spine is working. Dodd with a kick. At Ravalawa's way, that's a better catch.
Well, the team is in sync. We see Wormsley carry it for 20 metres off the kick-off. He gets involved once again off the back of that. Quick play the ball. Roby's out and scheming. And they come down this left-hand side when there's not much doing, put a kick up and go to their defensive set. Terrific start from St Helens.
The Dragons too. You'll notice young Connor Marleeson playing 6. He's a hooker. And he's playing in a role here. You got to see him in the pre-season last year. Actually scored a try at Combank Stadium against the Eels, but hook is his best position, and he's playing 6. And Mbai, this man, playing halfback, rushing a kick, got it away. Wellesby has started the game with supreme confidence. Makinson with it, and offloading. Now they're passing and offloading from inside their 30. What a kick return that is.
Hands off now. Marcus square, don't crowd. Go one.
So 14 entertaining minutes gone here. Stretching out for Big Cotty. Inside the 40 he goes.
Yeah, look at this. Wellesby up over the advantage line, scheming, coming across field.
Say it again, they are playing at a speed that is way ahead of the Dragons in their sets. They're 25 metres away from the line now. Wormsley on the charge. Fend and spin. Now outside the 10. 2 tackles left in the set. Roby sets them up right. Bell right to the line. Ball on the bounce, then put it down. Oh, that's an anti-climax. Lomax. I think if he holds it, it's 3 on 2.
Yeah, they had him stripped out on this right-hand side. You're spot on, Vossi. They are playing at a completely different pace. Just their intensity, their intent, their ability to fall into shape. They get the pass wrong there, but they had him stripped 3 on 2, 1 out this right-hand side. What a start Wormsley's had. 9 runs, up over 100 run metres. Just laying the foundations for his team.
Could things have been different for England at the World Cup if Lomax is available and Wormsley's available?
Yeah, absolutely, I think.
Definitely would have been strong.
Yeah.
And short in that Golden Point, the semi-final, had their hearts broken. So St George Illawarra back with the ball. Have to hang tough here. Sully with it.
Release that ball. Lock square.
Making the first changes of the night. You're going to see young Toby Couchman out there for the Dragons.
Hands off now.
One of a number of the former Thurul Butchers playing out there tonight. Good club in the Illawarra. Little on the run, the former Tiger, inside the St Helens half. A little better from the Dragons. They pick it up.
It's a good run.
Ravalawa 30 away. 5 tackles up now. Stewart got into dummy half, and Mbai with a kick. Not his highest. It's a poke over the top, more or less. Lost by St Helens. Play on now for Stewart. And this suddenly becomes the Dragons' best chance of the night. A 0 tackle as well. Blake Laurie on the run. Broke his duck last year with his first 4-pointer in the NRL. He's 1 from 103. Mbai. That pass for Murdoch Masilla. Well known to Super League fans. 5 minutes away from the line. Set restarts St George Illawarra. Our first chance to look at the St Helens goal line defence.
let go of that ball.
Louis Toso is there. That is Nick Louis Toso playing for the Dragons tonight in 18. Identify some of these new players to the club, or these players at this level. Quick play the ball. Ball is loose, very scrappy. Penalty will go the way of St George Illawarra.
Frustrating the defensive line of the Dragons at the moment. St Helens just rushing off, come up with a really good read there, just shut it down.
All right, they've got their own game plan and their instructions from coach Anthony Griffin. Now this is a chance to put on some attacking plays here. Little dwelt before passing. Stewart again across field here. That's not their best. 12 metres away from the line. Marleeson. He just looks a really good dummy half. So I feel for him a Little playing 5'8". Little here. We're going to make or break here. Ball on the bounce, still a chance. Nicely picked up on the charge. Murdoch Masilla did so well. Bouncing ball is always dangerous. And it caused a problem for the St Helens defence.
Yeah, Makinson's blowing up Deluxe here. They'll probably have a look at this one, but they come across in this left-hand side through Zach Lomax. As we see it unfold here, Conrad Harrell just comes up. And is it Stewart that gets in the road before Lomax is able to score in the corner, but then Murdoch Masilla just breaks through. One of the off-season buys for Anthony Griffin.
Yeah, well, it's inside of him, so it's not as if Murdoch Masilla has run around that man. Yeah. He just kept his line inside, and Atkinson has run up there.
Well, the decision from Conrad Harrell to come up and in the way he did just really put pressure on that right-hand side defensively for St Helens. When we talk about point scoring from Makinson, well, Zach Lomax led that way comfortably for his team. Such a talented player out on this left-hand edge. We've seen his ability and what he's able to do. Really looking for a consistent performance this year.
So Zach Lomax now with his first kick. You'd reckon 73 games into his career. It's time for Zach. He now has to move up to senior player status, if you will.
Well, so often, Vossi, you talk to NRL players and you don't really understand your craft to at least 100 games. I know that sounds really funny, but we've seen glimpses of what Zach can do. He's got all the skill.
Goal kicking to boot. That's a nice start. Right boot. Gets it over the red dot here. The old Illawarra Steelers dot. And 10-6 is the scoreline. And this is a good Saturday night game here on Fox League. All the pre-season games covered. Matty Russell on the sideline.
Didn't bend Murdoch Masilla. The legs showed some youth there. 32 years of age in his 13th season of Elite Rugby League, but he powered through that hole to set up Zach Lomax. Here's the drop from Tommy Makinson. We'll keep our eye on the winger because we know he's a noted finisher, a great try-scoring tally for St Helens and their goal kicker, just nursing what appeared to be a cork on the quad after that drop. So they'll hope he's okay when he cools down for next week's World Club Challenge.
Notice too that Walmsley's just come from the field for a rest. See what their, if you will, pit stop strategy is tonight with some of their key players.
And Parsi have gone into the middle. Curtis Sirinen.
Again, that was a serious shot over the top. Matty Lee's left shoulder involved. Dragons feeling a bit better about things. And on their own 30-metre line, following up on points. You want to tick a few boxes. You want to make one of those coach killer mistakes and errors after points. Attention to detail. Wellesby bringing it back for St Helens. Good drive. St George Illawarra lifting their intensity. Young Couchman was one of those involved in the tackle. Little good on the chase as well.
Release him now. Here, Jake. Blake, hold. Billy White. Go to.
Oh, and now St Helens open the door. That is an unforced error.
A really good opportunity here, isn't it, for the Dragons? 10 from 10 to start this game. As Laurie goes up into the teeth.
Mark Percival it was who lost the ball cold there on the run. So this is a real opportunity to erase the dominance of St Helens early. Murdoch-Masila. It's a menacing sight. Let's hope he's okay. He's slow to his feet there. A few pains. Dragons centre field 20 metres away from the St Helens line. Trainer's given the thumbs up on Murdoch-Masila. Ball out the back, Leeson, and Stewart slices through. What a touch! What an involvement from one of the rookies. Write the name down. Trey. I don't think we've had a Trey spelled T-R-E-I-G-H. Trey Stewart has got game.
Well, the pre-season challenge gives everyone the opportunity, young ones, to really stand up on the bright lights. And we see here on the right-hand side of the field, Trey Stewart just catch the ball heading on the overs line and just accelerate through the hole. A terrific individual effort to break through some strong defence.
Matty Russell will confirm for us after the kick. That 29 SG ball side they talk about down here. Stewart was the fullback. I think Sloan was on the wing. I'll check with Matty on that one. And Sloan's got his opportunity before Stewart, but Griffin has thrown Stewart the number one tonight. And that is a lovely moment. You got to understand how big these pre-season trials are for some of these young players.
Without doubt.
On Fox League, family everywhere could be watching tonight.
And we've seen every team provide some young superstars. It's the talk of the town. Who's going to be the next superstar coming through? Who do we want to keep an eye on? Well, we got a really good look at Trey Stewart and what he can do and provide.
Just like that, it's 10-all, and it could be the Dragons in front in a moment. Lomax struck the first one in good style. His last game of last year, Zach Lomax, was the PM's 13 game against PNG. Scored 20 points, try and 8 goals in that. He's got a bit of swing on that. Got it. 2 from 2. Dragons are in front. Let's go to Matty Russell.
Andrew, you're spot on, because Tyrell Sloan playing for the All-Stars today as a winger. He was a winger also in 2019 when this man was playing fullback for the SG Ball Steelers team that won the premiership that year. So Trey Stewart keeping Tyrell Sloan to a wing, not the number 1 jersey. What a try. He's a train and trial player with the Dragons at the moment. From the Queanbeyan Roos, he went to the Batemans Bay Tigers, then to the Maruya Sharks, then the Monaro Colts rep team, into the Steelers system, SG Ball, Flegg Cup, and here he is playing in the top grade.
Hang on a sec, Matt. I've just pulled out the New South Wales Atlas. So he went from Queanbeyan to Batemans Bay. How long's that drive? And then he went to where, Maruya, was it?
About 90 minutes, about another half an hour.
Okay.
I heard a car in there, Monaro.
Yeah, that's right. Does he have a Millard caravan when he goes to all these places?
He's got a good V8, and Corey loves his V8.
Well, it's a great story, though, isn't it? I mean, he gets an opportunity. We've seen all throughout the opening games. There's a strong hit over the top there from Parsi. I like the way he's moving, Stewart.
Yeah, just have the confidence of that, what he just produced there. He's had an error, but he's dusted himself off and got on with the job. That shows character, besides everything else. Last play here, Dragons. Mbai, left foot bomb. Who wants to attack it? Wellesby does, and does it nicely, but we've got an escort penalty. Gee, it's all going the Dragons' way. St Helens have barely had the ball the last 10 minutes.
They're 26% of the ball the last 10 minutes. You're spot on, Vossi. And it's the ball control. Possession is king at this time of year. The Dragons are yet to make a mistake.
Yes, 12 from 12. Well, that gets inflated by that. You get a penalty early in the count. There's a completed set. Here's the Dragons with Mbai and Marleeson. Stewart this time in passing mode. He goes the Up and over pass.
Hands off, Will.
But Illawarra held up there.
Hands all the way. Go to, that's Rugby.
Sully. Season ended a little early because of an ankle injury, Moses Sully, but I think all in all, it was a very good signing for the Dragons last year. So to give them more value this season. Close to the line, Laurie will take a run at them. A test of fitness for St Helens and their defensive patterns as Mbai almost stepped through there. 5 tackles up. Who takes charge here on the last? It is the young fullback. He's got a kick in as well. It's into the gut.
It's the right play. Conrad Harrell just come up off his line again. Some real instability out on that right-hand side for St Helens. Just the execution let him down a little bit.
Kick from Stewart. Took one big bounce there at the end. Needed it to sit up. And Fiona may have had a chance. So St Helens thankful to have the ball back in hand. Led 10-0. Now trail 12-10. And working the changes. Atkinson up and then down. And St Helens back into the Dragons half now. Their fire somewhat doused after the start early. Roby left side. And Dodd just dumping it off. Nice ruck play. Wellesby through the centre. Executed with perfection there. That play for St Helens. 12 metres from the line. He's slow. We'll watch that one. Wellesby. Lomax putting that ball up on the right. Sirina not able to get the arms free. Trainer with Wellesby. Short side Hurrell under pressure. Well done, Dragons.
Yeah, strong defence from Mbai, but the lead-up play from Matautia back through to Wellesby through the middle of the ruck was superb, and to come up with a great tackle here. Set play, Wellesby able to get through, and Stewart come up with the try-saving tackle. Looked like he just might have tweaked his knee or his ankle. Yeah, just that left ankle underneath Stewart on the cover tackle. And then some gold line defence on this right-hand side from Mbai.
Dragons number 1 on report. Possible hit drop. Play the ball there now.
So we're talking about the tackle on Wellesby being a possible hip drop. Dr. Parker, could you examine that a little closer?
Yeah, I did.
No.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Right, boys, it's a penalty here, number 1 for a hip drop, and he's on report.
Judge Judy here.
It's a penalty here, let's go, Blake.
Report.
Give him the ball.
All happening for Trey Stewart.
Yep, penalty for a hip drop. Just
so we'll go back to the penalty, not just report. St Helens get the penalty for the tackle.
Hip drop. Comes to us. Kieran Davis.
I mean, we slow it down and he goes through it, but Wellesby's just broken through here. Stewart's just coming across to do his absolute best to get him to ground.
In that same set.
Wellesby was moving. Like this is in slow motion.
Yeah,
Wellesby's moving full speed.
That's no hip drop. No.
We did thought so.
Let's go, boys. Come on, you've got to kick.
But it goes from a Dragons ball to St Helens penalty set 15 metres out. Now, there's a fair bit of argy-bargy happening out there.
Not sure what Blake Laurie's got to talk about in the middle.
Well, it's his first chance as captain.
He's going to take the 2 points,
well,
give themselves a breather.
Yeah, okay, there's Paul Sirinen and Leanne there. Parents of Curtis. What a journey they've had with their boys. Bailey, Curtis here. Tiger and Seagull, now a St Helens star. Ciro had some great games over in England too, Kangaroo Tours. They took a liking to the big fella. There we have it. I don't think there's been a penalty goal kick this weekend, has there?
No, well, interesting decision there, but Roby, obviously, his troops have been under all sorts of pressure over the last 10 minutes, just giving themselves a little bit of a breather.
Well, what about it? You know, maybe we're just talking full dress rehearsal. World Club Challenge next week. 12-all is the score. I mean, I would personally have loved them to tap and go.
Well, I mean, I go back to the vision that we saw at the start of the game from Roby and the look that he had in his eyes. They've come over here for a purpose.
So from the kick-off. Oh, that is a shot! The Dragons' defence. A red and white wall was erected in quick time. And they've forced the turnover. You heard it in your lounge room. The shot on Parsi. They're checking with him. How are you? Ignatius. Oh, boy.
See there, Blake Laurie. He was in the thick of it against Walmsley in the opening exchanges. Really trying to lay on some defensive grip for his team. Comes up with a big play.
It was a thud, wasn't it? A thud. And big bodies meeting head on.
Goes by the nickname Blocker. For obvious reasons, Andrew.
Yes. Great nicknames of the Illawarra clubs, the Dento Canaries, the Rural Butchers. Just Dento Canary.
You just wanted to get the canary out there, didn't you?
Yeah. So Laurie off the field, and this brings Jaden Hunt into the game. Just, 7 NRL appearances in the group. Jaden Hunt, not a lot of minutes in those 7 games, so another one looking to become a more consistent NRL player this season. It's a big chance on the back of that defensive play. Stewart's into the game again. Oh, now. That's a February drop ball, that one.
James, it's a play the ball.
Yeah.
It's a play the ball.
Again, they just need to give Zach Lomax early ball. It's a mismatch in terms of speed, particularly up against Conrad Herald out on this right-hand side.
If you missed it, this was pre-game. James Roby, when you talk about intensity before a pre-season game, I mean, he's laying down the law like we're playing a grand final. 37 years of age. To everyone in that room, young and old. Bit of follow me, you could say, in that.
We talk about standards, Voss, and we talk about expectations. It is no trial game for them. They've come from the north of England. They've won their last 4 premierships over there to get an opportunity for bigger things next week for the World Club Challenges. They now come up with a penalty and an easy leg up.
You pulled his hair, mate. No.
For a hair pull.
There we go. So we've got the hair pull penalty now.
What's your thoughts on that, Vossi?
Well, if you're going to have long hair, tough titties. That's what I say. I mean, yeah, that's just the way it goes. I've said before, if you ever see me turn up with a top knot, you just grab the pillow. It just ended. I mean, I just don't go there. St Helens are with the ball just inside the St George Illawarra Dragons half. Roby with it. Lomax on the front foot. Sheridan. Oh, good run. Sheridan. Cannoned into Jaden Hunt. St Helens 19 metres away from the Dragons line. The ebb and flow of this match. Now they've got a run of possession. Parsi, a little bit of ball play there. And Couchman hanging on in the tackle with Little. Roby, right side, Lomax, quick hands, on it comes, Makinson, big right foot. Sheridan, I think, has been hurt in the lead-up. They've run to Curtis. There's some drama here. Try is awarded to Makinson, but there is some problems here for Curtis Sheridan. They all ran over to him.
Well, they ran over to give him a bit of a high five because he laid on a nice try for Makinson. Still with plenty of work to do. Once again, down this right-hand side. He just copped the ball. Just copped a nice little shoulder into the ribs. Dug into the line, had to do it quickly. And Makinson, how many times have we seen him come off the right foot and get into that corner? Beautiful hands from Sheridan, come up with a beautiful run only moments ago. Try confirm. They slick down this right-hand side, Bossy.
There was pain in the lead-up. He's up, though. Curtis, he's back. Paul feels he's pain. Not at all there. He's all right, Big Zero. Talk about your characters. one of the great sights recent years. Ciro and Blocker, I reckon they still do it. They go for a walk every morning, the two big fellas. You see these two big fellas come. Imagine a foggy morning, and out of the fog comes these two.
Imagine the conversations.
Lifelong friendship out of rugby league. I think it's beautiful. But still at this age, they get together every day. Footy mates forever. Over to Makinson. Scored 5 tries in a quarter-final against Papua New Guinea at the World Cup. This kick, swinging it around the upright. So no goal. 16-12, Matt Russell.
He's a good finisher, isn't he, Andrew? 288 games for St Helens, 169 tries. Decent strike rate last season. 26 games, 22 tries, and there he is crossing again, despite clearly being hampered by that quad knock we picked up earlier on. He's been hobbling throughout, the trainer visiting him regularly, but he's battling on, and given that try, he's going to be okay.
His debut for St Helens all the way back in 2011. Gee, they've had some good servants. I mean, why would you want to leave the club? The old up the back trick! The old up the back trick! Will Hopewadi. Lovely work. That is true entertainment. Watch it again. Way, beautiful stuff. That's a jump. That's good stuff. That's rugby league right there. Now Roby, light pass. It's gone through the legs of Lomax. Call it knock on.
Ready on it, boys. Moses.
Lomax has had a very mixed night. We've talked him up. He would be less than pleased with some of his plays.
He's done a terrific job here.
That's great.
Hopewadi.
Oh, super. You couldn't do that, could you? You couldn't go and do that again.
I couldn't, no.
Let's go, boys. Clock's on.
Just look to come out at this right-hand side where they've had a little bit of success in this first half.
Let's go, boys.
184 NRL games in the career of Will Hopewadi. Handful of Origin games, Tongan International. Now second year at St Helens.
Right.
Now the focus on the Dragons. What can they do? Marleeson copped a hit there from the scrum. Still able to pass.
Lock square, yeah, 2 feet. Go,
Little's work so far has been efficient. The number 9 for the Dragons.
Willie, hands off. Boys back here.
They're 19 metres away from the line here. Little to Mbai. No Ben Hunt at all in the squad tonight. Stewart with the ball.
Conrad, no more, mate. Hold here, James. Hold.
Now
Wait.
15 from
Go
the line.
straight.
Slow play the ball. Murdoch Lasilla. Mbai. Couchman. It was all done in slow motion.
James
That
off
from the
ball.
Dragons.
1 foot, boys. Hold. Now hold.
10
Wait.
from the line. 4 tackles down. And Mbai stepping. Marleeson not able to get through there. I don't know if some of this attack is all that crisp from the Dragons. Last tackle, Mbai's kick. Hurrell doesn't want to know about it. Makinson has got it. Look out. Makinson almost back as far as the 20. Just caught in the tackle of Daniel Russell.
Really good experience from the captain, James Roby, just to come out and put enough pressure on before Mbai was able to measure his kick, which in turn gives Makinson a nice clear run at the ball.
Yeah, the Dragons looking for big shot. Didn't quite get it that time. On the charge of Percival. So St Helens in good shape, back to halfway, but it is play 5 done and dusted. Roby, Lomax, ball's a little high. He's got the kick right to the corner, stood underneath it, sets the feet. Nice catch. Oh, he cops over the top. Gray Stewart shortened up there. The tackle of McCarthy Scarsbrook. Another one. They've got 2 37-year-olds in the squad. Part of all those premiership wins. Cross and caught with Ravalawa, but folded up there in the tackle. Interesting. Opened last season with a hat-trick in round 1. Only 2 more tries for the year. Kaylee Ravalawa. Over in your super coach team, Corey. You're rubbing their hands together, curling the mo.
Really good buy round 1.
And by kicking again, and he's found the grass. Good kick. Be with it from fullback. Put together a fair package from what Wellesby has put together in this first half. His talent is genuine. some work to do for St Helens at 16 points to 12. But they did lead 10-0 early and looked hot as a stove early. Percival on that run. A little slow to the feet. Lomax dumping that ball off. Sirenen's now back at full tilt. Roby right up over halfway. Very Cameron Smith-like when you see that dummy half play from Roby. Just those two little stutter steps out of dummy half and get his team on the front foot. He's a craftsman. Ball down for Stewart's done again. He's turned, it's gone through the hands again, and St Helens will get the try. Hopawati, it's a gift.
All good, mate.
Trey Stewart's been very good in some areas, but a couple of bombs have caught him out badly where it's got right through the fingers.
Yeah, McCarthy Scarsbrook comes up with a wonderful play here. But it was just their ability to just go through their process. It's his second drop under the high ball. But watch this. McCarthy Scarsbrook just goes back inside to Hopawati. And right on the stroke of half time. Could be a real crucial blow. We talk about process and we talk about, you know, the ability for teams just to continue to stay at what they think works. St Helens, they've been under some duress. They took the 2 points. They had a bit of a breather. They got themselves back into the game. They go through their process. A nice kick down that left-hand side. The chase was on song. The little finer parts of their game have been superb in this first half.
Did you make your debut?
2001.
2001.
Andrew?
No, I was just we'll just round McCarthy Scarsbrook. I mean, 2006. You know, we're talking about a play. Oh, we're going to check
On
this.
video review, just checking for a possible knock-on. From the ground. They're just checking.
Vision Rains out there. We've got the special Ks tonight. We've got Liam Kennedy referee, Ashley Klein in the bunker.
Okay.
So no
See the
Kyrgios
St Helens
and
kick
Kokonakis.
chasers
We've got
onside.
League's version of Kennedy and Klein.
We have a knock-on from the Dragons. Looking at the right hand of Sione Matautia. Ball comes off the right hand forward. Goes towards the opponent's dead ball line. Sione needs to regain possession to negate the knock-on. However, it touches Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. We have a decision.
Well, that's fair enough on the replay, but at least they will come up with the ball. But there's only 3 seconds on the clock, or do they take the time back then, won't they? They will add to the clock, will they not?
Where do you want it, James?
Applying all things here.
Scrum, boys.
They will reset the time now.
Thanks, mate.
So,
and they have scored from one scrum already tonight. So
we're out on this right hand
hold
side.
tight.
Centre field scrum once again.
I don't think I've ever seen the likes of this. All the Dragons bench players have gone round to the tunnel, so they're watching from the in goal. They're all lined up behind where the scrum is. There's a lot of red and white jerseys out there at the moment. There's about 25 bench players watching just metres away from this last play. This is very much schoolboy football.
Fianai has been jumpy out on the right-hand side.
So from the scrum, one play they get. Hurrell's got the ball. Now the time has gone back to a minute, so they get the whole set. They reset because we had the try and then the celebration and what have you. It was all taken off them. Wellesby to Sirenen. Makinson was unmarked on the wing. Couldn't get it that far that time. 16-12. Roby, Wellesby in front. Ended up on the bounce. No damage done. McCarthy Scarsbrook. 10 metres from the line. Roby's played the whole half. Dodd took it right up the line. Try. Parsi swings but can't get the ball down.
Held up.
Held up above the line, so he'll go back to the 10-metre line with the clock stopped again.
Little short ball to Parsi, strong ball runner close to the line, was able to be held up.
So now again underway. Wellesby floats it over the top. Makinson, dab kick to the in goal. Dragon scramble spot on. And that is a good way to finish the first half. There's been plenty of entertainment. A little bit of controversy as well, some big hits, some decent tries. This is the last pass of the half. The Dragons get the job done. So half-time in this Saturday night tussle in Wollongong. It's St Helens 16, leading the Dragons 12. A little bit further down the south coast to areas like Kiama and Gerringong, Mick Cronin's pub. Beautiful grounds there. They say there's a young Gerringong Lion who might get a run tonight, 28, Dylan Egan for the Dragons. Hope he gets out there at some stage for some minutes. Second half underway. St Helens with that 4-point advantage, trying to allow close to half-time. Laurie on the run, pulled off some decent shots in the first half. This game tonight ahead of 4 more matches live on Fox League on Sunday tomorrow. There's no cricket. The test is over in India. Australia absolutely hammered. So all rugby league tomorrow on Fox League. And our first chance too to see the Dolphins tomorrow night against the Cowboys.
It's been a huge off-season for the Dolphins, particularly coming from Queensland. A lot of talk and anticipation around what Wayne Bennett and his troops will come up with. They'll get their first outing tomorrow night.
Yeah, Wayne back on the scene. So Dragons are in the play, and St Helens have their first possession of the second half. I think what they have shown tonight is they can put together a pretty dangerous back three, can't they, for Penrith to combat next week. We know how good Penrith's back three is. In fact, their entire three-quarter line, but St Helens have got some serious attacking potential. Wellesby's been very good. Makinson has been equally as strong and involved in the game. Dummy half duties now being worked by Joey Lussick. 10 NRL games in the career of Joey, but came off the bench in the Super League Grand Final last year. Big thrill. Lomax working them on the right. Sirinen has played a role.
Yeah, he's been really strong. Come up with a try assist late in that first half. Another strong run there from Sirinen.
His kick right at the corner. And Stewart, he's looked good when he's able to have his feet on the ground catching the high ball, but the jump and leap and catch hasn't been his strong suit tonight. Matty Russell sideline.
Good to see the Dragons captain Blake Laurie shaking the effects of that head knock, passing his HI and back out there to start the second half. The Dapto Canary, of course, extending his stay at the Dragons out until the end of 2026 as Tau Tau Mong is sent back to play the ball properly. And Blake Laurie, who went 91 games before scoring his first NRL try last season at Belmore with the carry here, has promised Dragons fans a couple more tries this year. He said, I just need a hooker to pass me the ball in the opposition 20.
And he might be having a little crack at his good mate, Andrew McCulloch, who's been terrific. He's really gone after the physicality of the game right from the onset against Walmsley.
By kick long, one bounce. Wellesby, Makinson bring it back. By the way, there's another flyer that we will see at some stage in the game. But a shout out to fans of the Barrow Raiders up watching this morning, because T. Ritson will come on for St Helens later. He may be the fastest player that we see out there tonight. Let's hope he gets some open space. You'll see him coming on and jump at 25 a little later. So St Helens with the ball on their own 30-metre line. Lussick was very good for St Helens last year. As good as Roby is, I mean, Lussick played his role.
Go for.
Rewarded with that grand final appearance. Lomax, that's nice, hands along to Hurrell. Conrad offloading. Lussick does the same. And at the end of it, they lose their way just short of halfway. Last tackle. Lomax wants it on the right-hand side of the ruck. He's got it. And will kick from halfway. Stewart's across to it again. Scored a slashing try in the first half. Trey Stewart, 21 years of age. Oh boy, he was short up there. You don't often see Ravalawa folded up and put down in such a manner.
The collision in the middle third of the field has been, at times, devastating.
And that's a pretty fierce charge, but the shots that Jake Wingfield has put on there back-to-back have been with some serious oomph, with a capital oomph. Another player that was one of the players that came off the bench in the grand final last year. He's out there now, Jake Wingfield. Wellesby with the ball.
You see Walmsley just warming up on the sideline, looking to get back into the action.
Yes, both Lees and Walmsley will be back in the play shortly, Corey.
Isn't that going to be a contest next week? Fisher Harris up against Walmsley.
Moses Leota, if he brings the grand final form in as well.
He was exceptional in that grand final, Leota.
Moses Parsi has gone from the field. Gets Walmsley back out there. I stand by it. He's one of the best props in the game for mine, Walmsley. And here he is with the ball, and he's shown signs of that tonight. He's a serious force. Lomax kicking from just outside the 40. Not his best. Lomax. Oh, he held his breath there. He found the line, but it wasn't how he wanted to strike it. He thought for a moment.
In the middle.
That's headed out of the beach.
Had a lot of pressure come from the inside. And he's spot on, Vossi.
Ooh. Gets away with it.
I mean, we talk about the matchups there between Fisher Harris and Walmsley. You know, next week, the celebration that you get between Cleary and Luai, Edwards.
Wellesby and what Dylan Edwards, Clyde Churchill medal winner, has done. Dragons are back with possession. That is next Saturday night, right here on Fox League, home of Rugby League. Every pre-season game covered right here. You can gauge your team ahead of the season kickoff. And for you St Helens fans watching this morning, first game you'll see them in Super League. One of my favourite grounds in the world, the Mendahose Jungle at Castleford. Beautiful ground. The away dressing room. You can fit at least 10 people in it, you know. Corey, quite comfortable. St Helens with the ball right on halfway. Good luck to the Tigers there. Stewie, who looks after the ground, does a wonderful job. One of the great grounds in Northern Rugby League. Mbai's kick. And making plenty of touches for the number 2 and the number 1 for St Helens tonight. And a penalty on the back of that. Makinson's had 13 runs of the football and 128 metres tonight. He's run for more metres across either side than Tommy.
We just see here they just get an opportunity 8 minutes into this second half to reset themselves, go about their business, fall back into the process. The starting props are back on. They'll lay the foundations and the platform.
It's back up to halfway. St Helens. Sirinen. You know, you talk about the fitness. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him look fitter and stronger. He never wanted to let him go, but it looks like he's in for a big season with St Helens. Curtis Sirinen. He's on that run. There he is, Curtis. His NRL days are now behind him. Right side, Wellesby. He gets that little crouch in his run. He looks like he's going to step. He's going to leave you in his wake. Dodd with the ball. On a swerving run. They threatened to post their 4th try of the night now. Anthony Griffin gets to see goal line defence from his team again. They try the power play.
Last tackle, release, 1 foot.
Laurie's there on Walmsley. Now a chance to go left. Wellesby's kick. There's 2 going for it. Ooh, good cover up there. Ravalawa saves the day.
Yeah, it's good footy by both teams. On the left-hand side, Wellesby just comes up with a beautiful little kick. Ravalawa up far enough, but also the ability for him to turn and save the day. You talk about Wellesby, he moves a lot similar to James Tedesco, just being able to pop up through that middle. That crouch run, as you mentioned, Vossi.
10 seconds.
Break tackles and just...
Yeah, the crouch forward, I'm thinking more Pappenhausen with the crouch forward a little. There's a bit of that about him. But he makes you watch. You're anticipating something is going to happen. And often does. Little cut down there.
You just watch his movements behind the play and where he tracks in and around the play, the ball.
Moses, release! Back all the way. Go 2.
Daniel Russell involved in that previous tackle. He could be a good pickup for the Dragons, the PNG International. Did some good things at the World Cup. St Helens, 20 metres away from the line. Lomax has them right. Surin dumps it off. Hurrell's with it. Takes 3 to get him down. They tame the beast. 10 metres from the line. And now big line set to the left if they can get it all the way there. Lomax, they just drop it off underneath for Walmsley again. Russell was there. And out of dummy half, Lussick with a shot at them. They've managed to hang on. Really saving stuff.
Really big tackle on the line from the Dragons. They look shot on that right-hand side. Just went into the wrong hole off Lussick. This was the ball runner. We see there, tackled inside the opposition 20. Last year it was a priority over the summer for the Dragons was their goal line defence and their one-on-one missed tackles.
You saw the tackle. Ryan Couchman, brother of Toby, who we saw earlier play. That's a big moment for Ryan Couchman. So the brothers have had a night here playing together for the St George Illawarra Dragons. And they've added a few more players at half-time, as if they needed any more, the Dragons. I think they're up to
about 30, I think. The whole 30.
Well, where'd that come from? How can you add more players at half-time? Why? Because they're down by 4. St Helens with the ball 18 metres out from their line. We'll do our best with all these changes because some of these players, they will only get very limited minutes. They might get 5 or 10, but there's still big moments. Players like Dylan Egan to come and Zach Herring, Jackson Sherab, Sevilio Tamale. They're all young talent that have been named in this big squad tonight. They actually had to go to Kennard's Eye to get some more chairs for the sideline tonight. Or down to Bunnings and buy some more chairs for all the Dragons bench players.
Tackle 4, take it back.
Hard pressed to get a stint on the bike on the sideline tonight. Got to wait your turn. There's Bell with the ball.
Last tackle, Marcus Square.
That is tackle number 5. Hear the voice of referee Liam Kennedy. Slow play the ball. No set restart there. Lomax will try a bomb. But Stewart, here he is. If he keeps it, he's had no trouble at all when he's had the feet set. He looks balanced and he's straight away looking to turn defence into attack. And twice when he's leapt for the ball, he's come up with nothing. Fiona hit hard there.
Yeah, more strong defence and play too.
And Matt Russell has a calculator out and is working out, doing a stock take of the Dragons players. Matty, what can you share with us?
Well, Vossi, the trials have been relatively formal, but when the Molo brothers dropped out of the squad really late, in came Ryan Couchman and Aaron Johnson, so a big thrill for those two. And while we're touching on it, what about the brothers at the Dragons as they explore here on the right-hand side, the left defensive side of St Helens? The Fionnay twins, the Couchman twins, the Molo brothers and the Finau brothers. Strong family ties at the club in 2023.
Point made. Atkinson with the ball. There's Aaron Johnson. We'll see a little later as well in jumper 30.
Wait. Go one. Come on, boys. Left side. Jacob.
So we're in the balance a little. It's 16-12 for all the raps we've given St Helens tonight. They haven't outstripped the Dragons. It hasn't been converted to points. And now you make changes.
Well, if you've only just joined us from the coverage, it was a blistering start from St Helens. They really flew out of the blocks. They're doing everything a lot faster than the Dragons. But you're right. The Dragons have done a great job to get themselves back into the game. They come up with 2 tries just before half time, which would have pleased Anthony Griffin over the summer. A lot of work being done defensively.
Last tackle, there was a call of a late tackle, not so. Stewart was onto it. Ravalawa's back there to help his fullback. And that is play 1 for the Dragons, 15 metres out from their own line. They've got some speed, the Dragons. I mean, a long-range try is not out of the question from them at some stage. There was the tackle Mbai on Lomax.
Hands off now. Back your way, Alex.
Rex Fiona back tonight, did that run. Broken leg in the pre-season last year. One of the collection of brothers. Direct set. Russell cut in half there with that shot. Bell, last tackle, Moses Mbai. A few times tonight, not all that high, some of the bombs. Certainly no torpedo bombs coming from the Dragons. No one's worked on them in the off-season. From what we're seeing tonight. And St Helens now bringing the ball out of trouble and prepared to offload. Lomax.
And Vossi making that tackle there, your man, 18-year-old Dylan Egan from Gerringong. He's still eligible for SG ball. He's out there playing an NRL trial.
I asked about Dylan, Matty, and the expression tearaway was used. I love that, tearaway. It's a tearaway. 18-year-old from Mick Cronin Oval.
Just rips and tears.
That's it, rips and tears. Ripping
Has
and tearing.
Has a red hot go.
That's him. There he is. Dylan Egan. Raise the glass at Mick's pub, at the Crows pub. For him. There's Lussick. Drives that ball hard for the corner. Stewart still wants to play at it. He's loping back. He puts a bit of step on, but there's Joey Lussick there with a real good ball and all shot on the young fullback there. Now Matthew Fiona running it back. Again, they're going set for set at the moment. Here's the tearaway.
Just get the sense on what team wants to blink here first. St Helens so experienced, such process about what they're doing.
16 minutes of the second half. We are 16 from 16 in completion rate. 7 from 7 Dragons. 9
go.
9 St Helens. Mbai is right through the front door. Support looming everywhere. Daniel Russell brought down. And quickly lined up to the right. Mbai, beautiful ball. Great pass. And Burns, it took a good tackle to stop him.
That's an outstanding tackle. Sione Matautia out on his legs. We see Makerson go down. Here's the original break here from Mbai. Straight through the teeth. We just spoke about who's going to blink first. Wonderful cover defence. They come out to this right-hand side. Matautia come up with an absolute corker.
22 from 23 now for the entire match. The Dragons, their completion rate, the exciting set. That previous one. Wellesby runs in the back. I'm not going to put a shoulder charge, eh? I think Wellesby more or less ran into the back of those Zembo. Anyway, they've called a penalty. It's February. They're not getting upset. And penalty goes the way of the Saints. We'll get them out of trouble in quick time. You be the judge at home. Running that forward. Oh, I suppose just turn side on.
That's a halfback's tackle.
That's right. He didn't seem to be a whole lot of drive from Moses.
Really trying to ignite his team in the second half. Mbai played an array of positions for Anthony Griffin last year. Such a versatile player.
Now, Matauti up on the run for St Helens. And this set, one tackle in, they're 10 metres inside the Dragons half, but no points in this second half. Parsi in his second stint of the game, cutting defenders with him there. Russell and Egan did the job in the finish. Now Wellesby, pass to no one on the bounce. No chance, really. Lomax, Wellesby saying Dragons knocked it down, perhaps.
Do you want to challenge? Who's the
Referee Kennedy saying you can challenge it if you want. I mean, you may as well. Let's have a challenge. Let's have a Saturday night challenge.
Actually, we have a captain's
We see
challenge.
the movement from Wellesby.
St Helens are challenging the decision of a knock on Dragons.
Starts his run out on this short side before peeling around the right-hand side. The lead-up play was superb. Hard to tell from that angle.
Got to watch Mbai's fingers, haven't you, to see if the balls touch them. They
Confirm that does come off the left hand of Curtis Searon, and just seeing which direction the ball goes.
Clean bowled him.
Well, I thought Wellesby was claiming that Mbai touched the ball is what they wanted them to look at.
Yeah, just going to check whether Moses Mbai touches the ball first.
Thank you. Thanks, Ashley. How you been? All right?
Special case.
Special case. How's your Christmas, Ash? Well, the ball rotation doesn't change, but I think the fingers...
Just checking at available angles to see if Moses Mbai makes contact with the ball.
Brandy told us last night he spent the
Sneeko.
off-season looking at old bunker decisions, reviewing them. Yeah, watch the fingers. No, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, the fingers of Moses Mbai bends back on contact with the ball. It's a knock-on from the Dragons. The challenge is successful.
There you go.
There you go.
The finger bends back.
Watch the fingers. Watch the fingers.
In the middle,
There you go.
and we'll go 17 metres out. Challenge is successful.
Well, it becomes a great opportunity for St Helens. So you'd have to think Moses Mbai. That's it for the night for Moses. Q in the rack. They take off their experienced man. Now it is time for some of these younger players who've been on the bench.
Let's go.
Like
Wait for
the
the
nerves racing. They're going to get their opportunity now in the last quarter of the game.
When you're ready, mate. It's on. Right.
Lussick from the scrum. And Dodd wrapped around. They did score a try from the scrum in the first half that was well crafted.
Go now. Marcus square. Wait here. Just wait, mate. Just wait. Go.
12 metres from the line. Passy with it. It's his third year now at St Helens. And swung around in the tackle there of Toby Couchman. Lussick. They keep it close to the posts. Couchman again was the first defender.
Numbers right.
With Daniel Russell. Corey wants them right. Dodd's got them going there. Wellsby did well. Lomax, ball knocked down by Fiona. That'll be a knock on against the Dragons.
What do you want?
St Helens can reload.
Well, once again, just out on that left-hand side, just rushing up and in. This time, Fiona just knocking the ball down, saving his team. What looked to be a certain try on that right-hand side. Some of the touches Wellsby's come up with in this second half, causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah, you can see why they can demoralise some sides when they really click. If Lomax and Wellsby come off, because there's been a lot of times tonight they haven't quite. Wellsby's been great. Lomax just a little off his best. Here he is, Lomax. Oh, they've called it full. He's off his best, isn't he? He's been out of whack a few times tonight, and that's not good from the scrum. The Dragons feeling good about that.
Yeah, poor execution from Lomax out on this left-hand side, but really good defence. Keep banging on about the off-season and the summer that they would have had, and knowing Anthony Griffin and being coached by Anthony Griffin, understands that defensively they need to be much better and take nothing away from this St Helens outfit. Fine-tuning a few things before next week's big clash against the Penrith Panthers.
Leeson now working the scrum for the Dragons. So new faces. Little though is back at dummy half.
Release the ball, Joey. Got to hold with me on this one.
Tamoga on that run. He's lost the ball. He made challenge as well. No penalty. Late call. Bill not happy with that one.
No. Jacob, you're off the mark.
So penalty on the Dragons 30. We're sort of waiting to see what happens next in this one. Dragons fans are looking to see. Zach Herring
your man
hasn't found touch. Herring has kicked to the former Barrow Raider, T. Ritson, bringing it back. 33 tries in 31 games last year. Mighty Barrow Raiders. So St Helens are 35 metres away from the line. I think Zach Herring wants to see that one back. Again, Lomax. Rushing up. Kaylee Ravalawa. That could have been anything, that shot. Like that could have wiped mankind out there. He just was firing it. They're 29 metres away from the line, St Helens. Played by Matadia. Working right this time. Dodd, quick hands, Sirinen, Hurrell, and Ritson with it.
Tackle 5, number 26, HIA.
Here we go, called off for HIA is Toby Couchman.
Hold that, Kieran.
Might be it for Toby. This would be a nice touch. I think they're sending out his brother Ryan to take his place. That's nice. So Toby comes off with the HIA and they send out the brother, Ryan. It's Couchman-a-thon.
It's an easy call.
That's it. Here we go. One Couchman replaces another Couchman. Toby's going the long way off. Feels we're going to have to wait for. Oh boy, they are taking a long way off here. This is great work by the trainer. His team defending on the goal line. He's taking Toby on the long run. Ooh, that cannon into his head. He got the back of the melon of Parsi right in the face. So Dodders with the ball. Left foot kick. Charges there. Stewart has he's lost the ball. Ball scooped up by Wellesby. He did everything but wasn't able to hang on to it right at the end. St Helens right on the line. Out of dummy half. That's an easy one. That's a worm burner. For Lussick to go over and score. Finally, a try in the second half.
It was Stewart that came up with the error, but the inability to not find touch off the penalty has put him under all sorts of pressure. Here's the little kick here. Stewart just hit and heavy contact, comes up with the error. Wellesby pulled up short. And you mentioned worm burner. Lussick out of dummy half, just gets down nice and low. The experienced Roby on the bench just watching the young bull. And Lussick just go under. Put his team out to an 8-point lead.
Yes, 8-point lead and a fairly straightforward conversion attempt to come. Lussick with the try. That was his NRL career, the 10 matches that he played. But as I say, valuable backup. Got a grand final bench appearance for St Helens last year. Played for both Parramatta and Manly in his time in Australia. Actually played Australian schoolboys in both league and union going way back. Joey Lussick. Davies with a kick at goal. Ben Davies on the witness man. And he's just slid it in the right hand upright. Corey's the goal kicker in the commentary team.
It all counts, 2 points. No one remembers how close it was.
Matt Russell sideline.
Yeah, Joey Lussick, one of 7 players with NRL experience in this St Helens squad, and the squad as a whole, I must say, looks really fit. We heard Tommy Makinson at half-time saying, no, we're good, we're prepared really well for this World Club Challenge. Long-range weather forecasters might notice that at Penrith next week, it's meant to be 40 degrees, but having chatted to Matty Lees just a moment ago, I asked him about how you're handling the conditions, how you're finding the night. He said, I'm fine, just blowing out a few cobwebs. This is great. They're ready to go. Make no mistake about that.
Now, Saints, the Dragons, St Helens, the Saints have a handy lead, 10 points, but the St George Illawarra Dragons now, Griffin has sent out some of these young blokes that are now out there being given 10, 15 minutes to show us what you got. They raced off the kickoff. Look out, anything could happen. There's some of these newcomers are out there. I saw Alexander Lobb run out. Wes Wollongong Jr. Harley Finau sprinted out from the bench like they were ready to go. Like the lids opening at the Dapto Dogs.
Yeah, 15 minutes remaining in this game. St Helens, 4 tries, 4 line breaks, 6 offloads. Of course, bonus points on offer if you're able to get 5 tries, 5 line breaks and 10 offloads.
Last tackle, Marcus Square.
All right, so next try important. If St Helens can post another. Last play here, they will bomb from 35 metres out. Kick from Davies.
Joey.
Pretty much went straight up and down, now bounces back. Who wants it? The Dragons will accept it. And no metres made on the kick at all from St Helens there. Not their best. It's Harley Finau who ended up with the ball. We've got the Finau brothers playing. Jackson Sherab is out there. And another one of the Thurul Butchers. For now, if you know about these brothers, they have come through the Melbourne system. Actually played for the Sunbury Tigers down in Victoria, the brothers. Along their rugby league journey. All shown by Zach Herring, cleaned up at the end of all of that. Sirinen, the defender. And this is last play, the Dragons. The stock standard bomb. And now with Benison playing fullback. Scored a try in the grand final from fullback. Did Jonathan Benison. Plenty of ability. Ooh, taken high as T. Ritson And another penalty goes the way of St Helens. They haven't really had any field position of late, the Dragons.
Good domination from field position over the last 10 minutes goes in the ways. We see it just go a little higher there on Ritson, your man. You'd love to see him in some space. Vossi, you're telling me
yes,
he's the quickest man you've ever seen. Maybe a little bit of GST on that.
Just a fraction. He's quick though, see Ritson. So, Sirinen on this carry. St Helens back into the half of the St George Illawarra Dragons. They lead by 10, 13 and a half minutes. And then a week of hard training before the World Club Challenge. You'll see here on Fox League next Saturday night against the Penrith Panthers. And on paper, it's the greatest World Club Challenge we've had. A 4 straight premiership winner against a back-to-back Premier winner. Lussig's away for another try. St Helens pick up a bonus point. No, they've caught a forward pass. Liam Kennedy, Lussig says you're kidding.
Where do we want it?
Well, it peeled open through that middle. Again, Wellesby just got his fingerprints over everything. Passy, nice little short ball. Back through the middle. Lussig thought he was over for a double. That's the pass there, Vossi.
As I said, don't get worked up about things in February, Corey. I would have been fine if they'd have said try though. So they're 12 metres away from their own line. They're still in the contest, 22-12. We had a tight finish in the men's All-Stars game earlier today. A late try
back here all the way.
gave us an exciting last few minutes. Dragons need a try here with time on their side. 12 minutes to go. Ball loose. Well, boy, they just can't get down the other end, though, can they? At the moment, they had a great completion rate, but not the field position.
The intensity after an error from St Helens has been really good. 8 errors for the entire game, but every time they've come up with an error, their next set has certainly been priority in terms of getting some physical body contest.
Lussig there, dummy half denied a rare try, double. Passy will take a run at them, able to just rock him sideways there. Couchman, the defender, over the top. Lussig right side, nice bit of stepping. But again, goal line defence from the Dragons good, and you want to see this sort of examination of your team in the pre-season. Different players out there. Got to communicate, and so far so good, the Dragons. Holding up Dan Norman there. Right on the line, last tackle play. Working the left, right foot kick on the bounce and taken dead. Sione Finau there. The other half of the Finau brothers. One's a hooker, one's a winger.
And once again, just summing things up beautifully. Just a repeat set, tightening the screws. 10 minutes remaining in the contest.
So line drop out the Dragons. And the ball will be brought back by Davies. Just dropping it off for Norman.
Hands away, Becky Roy.
Ireland at the World Cup. With a lot of players appearing in the pre-season challenge who had experience of the World Cup across the nations. Now 22 metres away. I think St Helens fans watching from afar want to see them put the Dragons to the sword here. Here's Hurrell out to the Barrow Raider. Ritson. He's got it, Corey. T. Ritson, maybe the fastest man on the planet.
Ask and you shall receive, Vossi.
He scores in the corner. Vapor trail behind him as he ran away. Found top gear.
Beautiful little setup play. Sirinen once again, what a second half he is having. Hurrell just knew had to get the ball in front for Ritson to run onto, and have a look at this speed and the finish. Try-scoring machine for St Helens, and that's why.
Well, they're hoping he will be. Barrow, don't forget the Barrow Raiders. They're part of the story, Corey. He scored 33 tries for Barrow last year in 31 games.
That's what I said.
And they don't get a lot of headlines. They don't get a lot of headlines, so just keep talking about Barrow. the Barrow Raiders.
They've had to do a lot of pushing over the years.
Not your best. But there he is scoring the try. T. Ritson, 26 years of age. Mr. Barrow played for Workington, Newcastle Thunder, so all up in the north, up in Cumbria, beautiful part of the world. And he could be quite the personality player on the end of this back line if he gets some opportunities. Pretty hard to budge Makinson out of the wing spot, but you never know what's going to happen over the course of a season. 26-12, bonus point in play. Matt Russell is all over that, but they've got their 5 tries now, and that's a pretty good conversion as well. So they have inflated this margin. Matty on the sideline.
And it's a pretty good warm-up, isn't it, for next week's World Club Challenge. As for Anthony Griffin and the Dragons, they're off to Mudgee for the Charity Shield next weekend to wrap up their pre-season. Then a long wait. The Dragons don't play their first premiership game until 10 days after the comp kicks off. It's the final day of round 2, actually, that the Dragons are in action against the Gold Coast at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium. When it comes to the season as a whole, they were good at home last year. In fact, they won 5 of 6 here at Wynn Stadium. They'll certainly be looking to repeat that dominance in the Gong. There's their run in Wollongong. Dolphins, Dogs, Warriors, Raiders, Tigers, Sea Eagles, Storm. But they'll look to improve that miserable away record from last season.
Oh, look out here, look out! Ball everywhere, St Helens, and oh boy! That is a bit of rugby league mayhem on a restart. And the tackle at the end of it was awesome. We'll have a line drop out, thanks. Could have had a try.
The Cole felt like kick-off, allowed to bounce, and then it just took a right-hand turn.
Jeez. That's a shot at the end of it there. 28-12. Oh, sorry, Lassie. A bit embarrassing, a bit awkward there, the bounce. He's just watching the clock. That's all he's doing. And then goes a floating line drop out, and it turns right. Jadeja about him. Dragons are back with the ball. Aaron Johnson on the run. So these young blokes are out there. It's been a while since we had a number 30 in a first grade game, but we've got one tonight. Well, what have we had? 28, so we've had 54 players get a run tonight. Excellent. Dragons are with it, 21 metres away from the St Helens line. We saw last night Newcastle up in Gosford. They had a mixed night. They still were able to finish strong. Griffin wants to save his team. Strong work, Savelio Tamale. Come on down. Rugby union fans will know this young fella, a junior Wallaby, 18 years of age, is having a crack in the league ranks and is putting his name up in lights right now on Foxley.
That's what the pre-season Challenge Cup is all about. Just young guys able to have a go. It was a nice little lead-up play. Terrific little offload. Some short sleight of hand from Tautau Moga. And what a moment.
He was part of the New South Wales Waratahs, which is, for those watching elsewhere, rugby union franchise, and a junior Wallaby, and has made the switch. He has, I'm going to use the saying, he's trained the house down, and he's got his chance tonight, and he has scored a try. Another one you got to write down in the book. I think that was his first touch. Remember your first touch in first grade, Court?
Oh, I do.
You do remember?
Well, I remember my second touch much better because that was a try, very similar to Sevilla Tamale. Nice. First touch was just a normal hit off, one off the ruck, Vossi. But again, we talk about moments, and for some, it's just going through the motions, just getting a little bit of match fitness, trying to get through the game. A lot of the stars are rested now.
The face
Sevilla Tamale, he'll remember that for as long as it counts.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the elation there, it is genuine. Huge moment. Welcome to the big show. Welcome to Foxley. Sevilla Tamale. St Helens on a kick-off, 28-18. 5.5 to go. The final tune-up for the World Club Challenge. I don't think you want to leak points late. Penrith, we know how good Panthers' defence is. Like, I don't know what target St Helens think they can achieve against Penrith, but points are going to be well earned if they score a few next week.
Well, there's a lot of factors going into that game. I mean, the heat, for one, is going to be huge. They're saying it's something up around 30, 31, 2, 3 degrees. A lot different.
I think Matty's taken up to 40 in the course of the game. Matt Russell sidelined. Have you not adjusted the temperature forecast to 40?
37 it says long range. I'm always thinking it gets hotter as the week advances, so I'm saying about 40.
Yeah, there we go.
That might be your solarium, Matty.
Back the kick from Herring. Oh, not a good trap. I don't think he got a touch on it. And oh, then it's set up. Well, the Dragons are getting a little bit of a bounce of the ball here. They've taken full toll again. Venison missed the trap.
Go on, clock on.
He's not going to get a start in the EPL anytime soon. And then got the dreadful bounce. He thinks here, it's gone. It's going there. No, it's not going there. Then he gets hammered. Second time players been hammered right on the dead ball line.
Stand side.
Finished off. So now just came over the top for good measure. Lussick line dropout. Goes long. 50 metres. Fielded by Herring. And Egan will bring it back to Tearaway from Gerringong.
He took a right-hand turn when he saw Walmsley.
30 away from the line. Johnson on that run. There'll be some big smiles if they get another try here. These young Dragons now out on show. Herring ducking into that tackle. He's only 20 years of age. For now, will show. And Egan held by Walmsley and Parsi. Left is the call. A dab kick there. Moga was the one. I think it was a kick before in his career.
Yeah, he might have to put that one away. Tau Moga was only play 3. They had St Helens on the back foot, and he's opted to go to the boot.
Well, he's got a chance at fullback tonight, so he thought, well, I'll show the whole bag. I will produce the guffer from the bag. There we go. Same unstuck there. 3 minutes to go, 28-18. You'd have to think that is the last chance of a Dragons miracle if we're talking about maximising points in the bonus system. They ain't going to get to 5 tries now. Walmsley on the run.
Currently, St Helens are on 14 points. 7 offloads to mine.
Long kick. This one bounce. Over the sideline. Was it from inside the 40? There. No, Dragons will have possession. It's the second time to put in a kick that has been literally centimetres in from the sideline. So, in all seriousness and what you've seen tonight, and this is a hit out, St Helens against Penrith next week, can they take the challenge right up to the Panthers?
Well, I can't see why not, absolutely. I go back to that opening stages, the first 15 minutes, they were quick, they were fast, they were in sync, and they had a plan and it worked beautifully. Now, they're going to come up against, as the Dragons come up with an error, a completely different outfit next week at the foot of the mountains against the Penrith Panthers. But there's no reason why they can't turn up and really give it a shake. And they're not turning up just to make up the numbers. They firmly believe that they can do something against the Panthers. I mean, we talk about the dynasty that the Panthers have started. 83 games they have won out of 102, Vossi, since 2019. An incredible team.
Well, here they are attacking with just under 90 seconds to go. And we didn't see much football tonight. Joe Batchelor didn't get a lot of play. We haven't seen Morgan Knowles at all. They can actually get a little bit stronger from some of their more or higher profile players. I assume they will all be on deck next week. And we're hoping that they've had an injury-free run tonight. Walmsley gets close. The big fella. Lussick. Parsi in front of the Dragons post. He's shown us a hit and spin a few times now, Ignatius Parsi. This to go into the 30s. Working out to my man Ritson out on that right wing. 10 from the line. Tackle finished off by Russell. Sirinen held up. Will go close to the post. Walmsley, well, he just wants another hit up.
That's 18 for 180 plus metres. Walmsley.
And the ball's stripped away. Does he still get the hit up when he drops the ball at the end of it?
Well, he gets the hit up, but it's an error. Is there an arm in there?
Ashram, captain's challenge.
Captain's challenge with 21
St
seconds
Helens
to
are
go.
challenging the decision of a knock-on.
So, we have this. Ashley Klein comes into the game. Well, yes, there's a hand in there. Jaden Hunt.
Just going to see how the ball comes out here. There's hands on the ball here after the held call. The Dragons player has failed to release, and the ball is then taken out.
Well, he's
They're
going to
just
hold it.
The challenge is successful. So Dave, we're going.
Is this a penalty for interference there? Does it become a penalty?
Score a fifth try, get a bonus point.
That's exactly right, Matty. And they've got 5 tries already.
They have already got 5. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, the calculator's broken sideline.
Right. Dave,
And they will go for goal. There you go. So there you go.
I'd
Go the
attack,
penalty goal.
throw 3 offloads, get to 10 offloads,
There
get
you
the bonus
go.
point. That's
You're
what I meant to say.
You're back.
Our dinner booking has been pushed back 5 minutes because of the captain's challenge followed by the penalty goal, which is being booed by the crowd. Alex Walmsley, he wanted tap and go. He wanted chip over the top close to the line, score, and St Helens go the penalty goal for the second time tonight. And it should be another 2. And I think we're all excited by what is in prospect next week on Fox League next Saturday night. The World Club Challenge, St Helens and Penrith. And there is the final statement for the night. Just a little bit of icing on the cake for St Helens in a good performance, accounting for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Full time in Wollongong, St Helens 30, St George Illawarra 18.